Speaking of the listeners wanting things.
Uh-oh. No.
Brunch.
Hit it, boys. We'd be remiss if we didn't open up with the actual news of the world, which is kind of weird because I'll catch myself as I only do the only thing I do now, watching CNN, and they'll be talking about like a different news story because there is a bunch of stuff going on. Got to talk about Georgia, got to talk about all these things. I'm like, how is the news not just like sirens the entire time and be like, the sitting president lost and he won't fucking leave?
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely preposterous. I mean, it's the most predictable thing in the world too. Like we all saw this coming, and so that's probably the worst part, that none of us are surprised by it.
Yeah, we're very much desensitized to how crazy everything is, but every now and then, like you snap out of it. It's just you're like, wait, imagine if we were. Like, what are people saying to children right now?
Well, that's the thing. Like, remember when we talked about, like, when we saw Vice, and I was like, I didn't realize that this whole presidency was as fucked up as it was, with like Dick Cheney running, and puppeting.
Yeah, we were a little
George
too young.
Bush. Yeah, like I was a little bit too young to understand any of that. Like, these kids that are growing up right now, like not really giving a shit about politics and maybe being like, Trump's kind of funny, like. In like 10, 15 years, they're going to be like, holy shit.
Hopefully, because what the scenario you're painting means that things will be normal enough again that people can be like, wow, that was crazy. I honestly, if I'm a betting man, I'd say it's probably even odds that things just remain as fucking weird as they've been. Hopefully not as evil, but like as weird as they've been for the next 10, 15 years or whatever.
I've wondered
and
that
everyone's still
if like the damage
phones.
is irreparable, where like it's become a clown, like a total clown show, and now like everybody is seeing that like if Donald Trump can get into the White House, like why can't this fucking bizarre person? And I also think that like it's just like there are so many clowns. Did you see the story this week about the guy? I don't know what political office he holds, but the guy who ran like the burner account and forgot to log out of it.
Oh God.
And was like, I am a black man, and Obama did nothing for me, and it was like a white congressman or something, and he forgot to log out of his burner account.
Oh, yikes.
And then I think that like what happened was he got another black guy to be like, no, this is me. I am Dan. I think his name was like Dan Purdy. I am Dan Purdy. I sent this message to the congressman, and he meant to post it with quotes or something, and he must have screwed up. And then like it turned out that was a guy that must have been hired because he had a different name.
Oh my God! And this was in a video. He was just dancing.
Yes. Yeah, Dan Purdy, Roy Purdy's
there
dad.
it is. Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, even that shows how stupid the world is. You're talking about like this like, banana shit crap. I'm like, ooh, meme it.
YouTube joke. Have you been keeping up with Roy Purdy?
No, I did follow him for a little bit. I probably still follow him. I don't know. Who knows?
I think that he like really took a step back. He was like, I don't want to be this guy anymore.
Cool.
Yeah, he has like he's got like some mental health stuff that he's been like public about, and he's like, this is just like too much. I'm just gonna be me from now on.
So not to be a dick, not surprised. I am mad. You want to talk about irreparable damage? All of this, like every second of our lives is on the phone thing. Like we don't think that's good, do we? Like we don't think that's gonna lead to us like being. Like self-sufficient like in coming years. Probably not.
I think that anybody who's been on the phone for like 10 minutes will be like, wow, I don't feel as good as I did 10 minutes ago.
It's fast food.
Yeah, and then they just get back on it like 10 minutes later.
Instant gratification, and then as soon as you're done, you're like,
well, that wasn't real.
I'm still hungry, and it's the worst.
No real nutrients out of the experience.
Jeff posted something last week where he was like a screen grab of what his screen time was, because your phone can tell you how long you've been looking at it.
Don't want that.
And he was like, yikes, it's up to 5 hours a day now.
That's so bad.
That sounds, I'm not going to guess. I don't want to know what mine is. And I like
Mine's probably way
Try to
worse
stay
than that.
away from it.
Yeah.
5 hours sounds so low.
Yeah. Which is like disgusting. It's honestly repulsive.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's a computer or, I mean, I'm trying to wean myself.
Oh, I mean, if we're mixing computers into the equation here,
I think
mine's got to be close to like 16 hours.
At all times, we're either looking at, I would say, a computer screen or a phone screen.
Yeah. And like sometimes like I get like a real bad headache, like a splitting headache, and I'm like, why do I have this? It's probably because I've been staring at a fucking screen for like 12 hours straight.
I freak out when I see like babies in a room where there's a TV because they just like lock in on it and they're just like
They don't blink.
Right. Initially, I was like, "Oh my god, that seems so unhealthy for a baby." And then I look at the adults in the room, and they're just like doing the exact same thing. And I'm like, "No, this isn't like unhealthy for babies. This is unhealthy for the earth."
Yeah, my nephew is like obsessed with his like Google Nest tablet or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and obviously he's like a little over a year, but like the kid is obsessed with like watching Sesame Street and shit on that thing. And it will just not peel his eyes away from it as long as it's on.
One of my nephews, thankfully, I'll like ask him. I'll be like, "Hey, what do you like to watch?" And he'll be like,
"The book is better."
You're right. Honestly, he'll be like, "What?" And I'm like, "What's your favorite show?" And he'll be like, "Oh, like Mickey." And I know I'm like, he's fucking lying to me. What's your you watch 24 or something? You watching some stuff you shouldn't be like? Why is he lying to me?
Go outside, motherfucker.
Right. Honestly, his favorite thing. You want to light that kid up? Don't put on a TV show. Play Yakety Yak. You know that song?
Sounds familiar.
Yakety Yak, don't go back.
Oh, yeah.
For whatever, he fucking loves that song. You put that song on, he'll dance around full Michael Jackson and go, "I love this song." And then you're like, "Okay, cool. You want to watch whatever?" And he's like, "There's a dog over there. We can go. Well, let's go see what this dog is up to."
Kid's got life figured out.
Yeah, it weirds me out, but it's promising. I think.
Yakety Yak would be a great goal song.
Yes, it would.
That'd be a cool goal song.
I think that song is actually about someone telling you to do chores. It's like, take out the something in the trash. Da, da, ba, ba, ba. And then I think it's about the dynamic between parent and child when it comes to like daily chores. So that'd be a great song after a hat trick. Although that seems like
pick up your hats,
right? Like you're more kind of like shaming the employees who get the hats off the ice, which like that's what they're supposed to be. They're okay with it.
Right.
They're I don't know, doing like go pick up those hats.
I went home yesterday and I spent some time with the old nephew, and he was real addicted to hot cross buns.
Ooh,
which have you
heard
that?
Song. That's a good song.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's like the same line over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's just about buying buns.
Yeah, I think it's just like hot cross buns.
Hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross. I'm lied. That song sucks.
That song is terrible, dude.
That's it.
And it goes on. Well, I think this is like every kid song, but like it goes on for a good 8 minutes, and it's just the same line over and over and over again.
I'm gonna write a song that is. This would be the test of like when I played you Vineyard Nights, and you're like, "Hey, I think this is cool." Like to see if you're just doing the friend thing or if you're being honest. I'm going to write a song that's just a recorder playing a melody and me singing that same melody over the recorder. Totally Hot Cross Buns style.
That's what Hot Cross Buns is. It's the recorder song.
Yeah, dude.
I was like wondering why that song, like that title was so so burned into my brain.
It's iconic.
It's like the recorder song.
Right. I mean, and it does not deserve it. Like there's got to be easier because I think it's just it's 3 notes. There's 3-note songs that could be cooler than that. I don't know, like fucking "Hang Me Up to Dry" by Cold War Kids is fucking 2 notes. Just teach kids that. But although it's jumping octaves and stuff. But I digress. Yeah, man. I'm trying to wean myself off CNN and introduce like older things like, hey, you like this Tim Heidecker special? Why don't you watch this? And I'll get like 25 minutes into it, and I'm like, I can't. Lemon's saying something right. Lemon's got somebody. I got to know what they're talking about.
I wish that it wasn't. I wish that like CNN's coverage wasn't all politics. Like I wish that you had Cuomo and The Boy and Don Lemon just like doing brunch.
Dude, I was perusing Cuomo's Instagram account, and he had the what's the guy's name? Dogface, 420 Dogface.
Oh yeah.
Extentation or whatever.
Yes, no. Extentation is problematic. I don't think the dog face is problematic yet. Has he been milkshake ducked?
Oh, what happened to Extentation?
I believe that he's dead.
Killed?
But he also like had some like domestic abuse things.
Oh God. Okay. My bad. I don't know why I went with that. It's just an interesting way to end a name. And
for sure.
I know that 420 Dogface ends with something else. So anyway, he had that guy on, as every place in the world had that guy on. Mm-hmm. And the authenticity with which Cuomo was fucking tickled, just like, that guy finds new ways to win me over. He had this guy on, and he's like, brother, I watch it 100 times, and look, now we got Mick Fleetwood doing it. Take a look. And they show it on the screen, and like you can hear like his mic's still up, and he is dying laughing. He's like, this is a good thing. I don't understand why someone is so happily singing a breakup song like that. But oh man, brother, you are bringing me joy. Let's bring him on, brother. What? I don't even know what's going on. And the guy's like, as he said in all these interviews, he's like, yeah, my truck broke down. We've heard the story a million fucking times. And he's like, I just decided to longboard around. I do these videos all the time. And Cuomo is just, it's not fake at all. He is 1,000% all the way in. So I think he's capable of doing that. I mean,
Well, I brought up the idea this week. Everybody's talking about, got to replace Alex Trebek. Got to replace Alex Trebek.
First order of business when somebody dies.
People are so horny to replace Alex Trebek.
Somebody, I tweeted about that the other day, and someone was like, fair, but like we're so bored these days.
That's true.
And I was like,
but there's a lot of stuff to do.
And there's a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
That whole thing we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast. That
That's
can't
true.
take up any of your mind.
Yeah, like back in March, people were like, we're bored.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, sure. Like no sports. So
sure.
Like, nothing's really happening. We're not
I don't think
used to
George
the
Floyd
pandemic
had
thing.
happened at
Right.
that point. Like there was, the biggest story was, unfortunately, COVID. But we were getting that story every day, so we were just kind of keeping track with that. So you could easily get bored.
Right. And it was like we're looking for something else to kind of like latch onto to not be pounded over the head with this COVID thing.
Right.
Now there's a lot of shit going on. But yeah, no, my idea, and I haven't seen it brought up, like Cuomo to host Jeopardy?
Cuomo to host Jeopardy. You also said, let's just kind of combine shows and have Phil Mattingly.
I don't want to lose the dynamic of Cuomo and The Boy, so like, why not have Cuomo host Jeopardy and add a nice little twist to it? Have The Boy be like Jeopardy's Vanna White. You pick a category, he uses his magic board, he touches it, brings up the question.
That would be amazing. Did I tell you, or did you see?
And then Cuomo, like the response to every answer question would be Cuomo being like, Phil, I know you're too young for this one, but like in telling a story about each question.
He'd like ask the question, he'd be like, all right, the topic is race cars. Phil's not going to understand this one, so contestants, if you don't get it, don't feel bad.
Not even letting the contestants answer. Just
Right.
being like, Phil, tell me about this.
Yeah. Be like, Phil, you know who won the Le Mans whatever? Like, are you asking me the question? The question's not up on the board yet. Is this the actual question of this topic or no?
And him like judging the validity of the answers when it says here that this is right, but
kind of looking at it, really. I thought I would have remembered that. Did you see Cuomo give The Boy and Harry the Cuomo thank?
Yes, I did. You posted the video.
Oh my God!
They might have saved the best one for last, I suppose.
It was so. That was I don't know, that was like a minute and a half long Cuomo thank, which, I mean, Cuomo thanks usually like 20 seconds, which is, I mean, pause and count to 20. That is an outrageous amount of time to just say thank you for joining me. But he gave like a real minute and a half to these guys, and you could tell it meant a lot to them. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, I have fucked y'all's shit up this entire week. You impress me so much. I could never be like you. Amazing. And then Harry Enton tweeted like this long thing, this thread about like, hey, like, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I don't believe this, but he was like, I'm socially awkward. I don't have a lot of friends. Like, for this guy to be as welcoming to me and like the friend that he's been to me is like super important to me.
He also had like in that tweet, I saw the tweet, and he had like shades of like, I bet you think this guy is a dickhead.
Right, yeah. He's like, let's just get right out ahead of it.
I bet you think this guy is a dickhead because of the way that he treats me on TV. But guess what? He is, but he's also very nice.
I love it so much. I can't. Did you see the? I texted it to you immediately. The Dana Bash said they're not sure what they're looking for, but they'll know when they see it. And Cuomo goes,
"Oh yeah,
like porn."
Just a ridiculous thing to say.
Bash paused for like 2.5 seconds and was like, "I guess, yeah,
sure, Chris.
Yeah, let's keep talking about important things in the news." You mentioned that Alex Trebek died, which sucks. I mean, we can't say anything that hasn't been said already as far as like, he's the best everything ever. He's the best Canadian ever. He's like, he's impossible to replace, but that has not stopped people from immediately. Like if you clicked on like the RIP Trebek hashtag, if there was such a thing, I bet most of those after the hashtag then gave their pick to replace him. Like they didn't even wait another tweet.
And it goes to show too, like, it doesn't fucking matter how good at your job you are. Like, people will always be excited to replace you.
Yes.
Because nobody has ever been better at their job than Alex Trebek was at hosting Jeopardy.
Right. And nobody's thought like, I mean, a lot of people are like, just end it. That's not how money works, unfortunately.
Right.
Like, Jeopardy can't do that. They're going to replace him. But I don't know. Shame on me for thinking we would have waited like a little bit before being like, okay, how are they going to replace it? Because I don't think they're going to name a replacement soon. I think they're probably going to air the episodes and then maybe take a little break. Who knows?
They might air like some older episodes. Because I mean, like,
bang on some reruns.
Right. Yeah. And like, and it's not only is it like in bad taste to kind of like, I think that, I don't know, is it in bad taste, but it's bordering on bad taste to like immediately hire the next guy, but also, or the next lady. But like, you also have to train them. Yeah. You have to, like, there has to be like an onboarding and,
tell you what, I'm looking at that list, the betting odds. No, I'm not cool with one of those people. A lot of people I mean, love.
Like, there are a few people, but like, I
overstated that. Yeah, I think that
I would say that like 2/3 of the list is just like straight up hard nose, where it's like, this is a horrible idea.
Right. I think that it's also kind of. I think that's like a list for people on Twitter who talk about who should replace Alex Trebek.
And it's like,
I can't believe Rovell wasn't on there. And that's honestly that's like a dark horse pick for me. I would like Rovell more than some people on that list.
I thought about it, but
you thought about Rovell?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that like that list is there's not enough like thinking outside the box on that list.
Totally.
Like Pat Sajak, you're gonna put Pat Sajak. Like,
I mean, I love Tom Bergeron. Shout out Ball, Massachusetts. But like, if you replace fucking Alex Trebek with Tom Bergeron, who's like not necessarily like a retread, but like
he's just like a host.
Right, he's just a
professional
I don't want
to host. I don't want to host for Jeopardy. Like, because I think the reason why people liked Trebek so much was because he was like authentic. He was a great host, but like he was not like a Tom Bergeron or Ryan Seacrest host where it's a fucking guy in a suit, man.
Right. He also had a thing, and this is why this list is no good, where he was so close to us, but not of our world. Like, you weren't reading about, ooh, Alex Trebek is at this nightclub or whatever. And I'm not saying that like the people on this list are Spencer Pratt, but they exist out. I don't want the person to exist outside of Jeopardy.
We don't know anything about Alex Trebek outside of Jeopardy.
Right, he loves hockey,
right.
Canadian dude.
That's it.
And that's it. And I love that about him because he got so close to us just from being there and being so good at his job. So a lot of people on the list, like Mina Kimes would be probably very good at the job. And I haven't said this before. Like, I think that Mina Kimes, as far as good people go, is the best person at Twitter.
She's unbelievable at Twitter. I think she's extremely smart, extremely good on polished on TV and stuff.
I think she's
extremely personable. I think that she is as good a rising sports media star as there is.
Yeah, I think shout out to everybody I work with because they're all the best. But as far as non-colleagues, I think that Mina Kimes is probably the best football person going right now, just because she tells me about stats that I don't know, and then I'm I don't know. I feel Brickley's like this, Fluto's like this, where they make the viewer feel smarter without making them feel dumb.
Yeah.
Where it's not like they're just hey, I know more than you, I'm talking down to you. It's like, hey, there's this stat and this is what it tells you, and using it. So anyway, big Mina Kimes fan, but I wouldn't
exist outside of Jeopardy too much.
Right. She's her being very good at Twitter, I think takes her out of the running for me.
Right. Yeah. I think that's fair. Obviously it would never happen, but the ideal Jeopardy replacement for me would be David Letterman. Because David Letterman has that same dry sense of humor. He's very entertaining. He doesn't really exist too much outside of his work.
Yeah.
He's a very quiet, leave me alone kind of person. I think a David Letterman type would be perfect.
You know who, speaking of sports people and ESPN people, I suppose, you know who wasn't on that list? But I was I think this person might be better than and again, not better, not that these people would be bad at it, but just what's the perfect fit. I think that this is a closer fit than a lot of the sports people that were on that list. Tony Reali.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what people's opinion on Tony Reali is,
who doesn't like Tony Reali?
Right,
he's got to be the most likable guy in sports media.
What I guess I'm saying is he's not this huge overbearing presence or anything, but I think that kind of works for that job.
And he has hosting experience, interacting with the
right. He's very good at interacting with the whoever he's on with.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah, I don't hate Tony Reali. Also, I knew this was going to happen. The conversation about how dare people talk about replacing Trebek immediately turns into, well, here's my big board. This sucks because this kind of ruins the whole plan for the episode. What I was thinking was, because this might be a little dark, but it's supposed to be lighthearted. Everybody's in such a rush to replace Alex Trebek. Let's replace people who are still alive, and not suggesting this. This isn't a death pool or anything, but just saying if you were to just randomly replace an icon. Because that's what we're trying to do right now. We're just in this hurry to replace an icon. So, I don't know. Is that a stretch to do this with... No,
I'm down.
Okay.
Why not?
All right.
Let's get crazy.
First one's up. We've looked up to him since 1969. He taught us everything from the ABCs to how to be a friend. But if we had to replace Big Bird, who would it be? And I'm going to a quick time out before we jump into this. I'm not saying who do we want to play Big Bird. If it's Ronald McDonald, we're not saying who do we want to wear the Ronald McDonald makeup. We're just saying
we're not
Ronald McDonald's out. This person is there instead.
And that's what you're kind of saying that with Trebek
exactly,
too. Nobody's going to be
Don't
Alex
act
Trebek.
like Trebek. Right. Side note: what the fuck happened to Ronald McDonald? Where's he fucking been?
Canceled.
Seriously, where's he been?
I don't know. That is a great question. Ronald McDonald has not been heard from in years.
He must be bullshit. He's you are paying. How much to Travis Scott?
And he's got
I'm on the payroll, motherfucker.
And he's I'm doing all this shit for kids and the Ronald McDonald House charity and stuff like that.
That's true.
I mean, this guy's getting a terrible deal.
So the first one, we are replacing Ronald McDonald with bring back Ronald McDonald.
Big Bird. How about Gritty?
Oh, Grady's great. That's a good pick. My pick was Vince Vaughn.
Okay. All right.
It's
like not in costume or anything, just straight up Vince Vaughn?
Vince Vaughn.
Okay.
Also tall.
Yeah.
I think lovable. I got Shawshanked by Hacksaw Ridge of all fucking things the other day.
Christ.
I watched the whole thing. Watched all of Hacksaw Ridge.
By the way, Vince Vaughn in a new Blumhouse movie that comes out tomorrow or today, depending on when this episode goes up. Freaky.
Fucks us up.
But we're not going to go to the theaters to see it, but I'm making it my fucking hell-bent mission to watch that movie this weekend in any way possible.
Go Pete. This was heroic. We were texting about... It was like, there's a new Blumhouse movie that Happy Death Day got the trailer. It got from the director of Happy Death Day, which that makes me so happy for Happy Death Day to get the trailer, where Vince Vaughn is hanging out with a bunch of teenagers trying to solve a murder. And I mean, the trailer, it's 1,000 out of 1,000 on the brunch scale. Just so up our alley.
It's ridiculous.
I was like, there's a Blumhouse movie coming out that looks insane, and we're not going to fucking see it. And buddy, that breaks my heart. And you were like, yeah, it's fucking brutal. And then like an hour later, or was it this morning, you were like, hey, we're going to see that movie.
Yeah. It was like, I'm pretty sure it was over 24 hours later.
Yeah,
like I just circled
thinking
back
about it.
Yeah. I was like, we're not going down that easy.
You were giving it the Cuomo stare when he looks at the magic board when he doesn't understand how many electoral votes there are.
Are you sure we're not going to see this?
All right. He was like, all right, I'm responding. We're going to see it.
So yeah, it's my mission this weekend to find a freaky showing.
I'd love to. I mean, we're getting our in-person time in now because obviously the shit's hitting the fan again. Mm-hmm. So like the last thing we're about to do is go to a movie theater. Yeah. But I mean, if we can find a way where we can watch that movie and I don't know, rustle up some chicken tenders. It's a great place down the street from me.
Oh, let's go.
And I would buy like all the backyard theater stuff, all of it. For honestly, it costs as much as getting chicken tenders at AMC anyway.
That's true. Did you see, by the way, AMC is doing like the beta program for like private screenings. You can like rent a theater for $100 for you and 20 other people.
$100?
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Like that's solid.
Dude, we'll do 50 each.
Yeah, right.
I mean, look. The brunch Patreon's never been more important than it is now. Okay, I'm not fucking kidding.
We could record.
Everybody up to $10
in the theater too.
Oh my God! Didn't we try to do that?
We tried to do that.
We tried to record an episode while watching a movie in a theater.
In the theater.
We used to be wild, man.
Yeah, dude. We were like, we're gonna go to this theater. We're gonna go to the most random movie that we can find at the worst time.
Bang out an episode
and hope that we're the only two people in the theater and record an episode. And like one other person showed up and fucked up our day.
Oh God, I love it. Yeah, but I'm all in on $100 rent out a theater.
Patreon.com/listen to brunch.
Yo, I think this is going to be a fun bit that we get aggressively more pushy on
the Patreon and just do ridiculous shit with the money.
Yeah.
I want to do like the entire purpose of the Patreon for me is to just like spend it in the most ridiculous way possible.
Oh yeah, we've neither of us have ever pocketed dime from it. We bought a bunch of equipment and that was more money than the brunch account had. Yeah, so then we had a little bit of debt and then
we just didn't pay the debt, so that it accrued a ton of interest.
We're just like, yeah, $50 a month. It says we only have to pay $50 a month. High five. And then we paid it off, and now we're just like, now we can do, or hopefully we can get to the point where we can do what we want to do, which is just like have this money to just do fun shit for brunch. Like the hypothetical back in the day was like, if we want to fly to Vegas and interview the Backstreet Boys, let's do it. And it's like, all right, here you have $16.
Which honestly might get us a flight to Vegas at this point.
That's fair. That's very fair. This is working. So, yeah, I hope that I hope we get to see Freaky. Let's do the next one. When it comes to her catalog of hits, we are pleased with a capital WAP. But if we had to replace Cardi B, who would it be?
Melissa McCarthy.
that is good. I like Melissa McCarthy there.
Yeah.
Like, so Melissa McCarthy is constantly doing like IG lives and those sorts of things. I never really watched it's probably Snapchat. People always post like, look what Cardi B said on Snapchat.
Instagram Live, I think.
Instagram Live. All right. I think Melissa McCarthy's good. That was a little biased on your part because you stand Melissa McCarthy.
That's not true at all.
Oh, really?
I was like, so the only reason that I got my only point of like getting in on Melissa McCarthy was
that she was better than people were going to acknowledge in that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were there. And it's like me going into that movie, I was like, I don't know how good this is going to be because Melissa McCarthy is the lead actress. And then I was like, oh shit, Melissa McCarthy
she was great.
has it.
Yeah.
And then she did the kitchen. And I was like, oh fuck.
Oh my God.
I've been wronged.
The Kitchen might be one of the more powerful movies ever. Not in like, it made me cry, but like, it was strong enough to make me think, well, Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, and Elizabeth Moss all suck.
Canceled.
And I thought, I was kind of with you on McCarthy, but
it's incredible how nobody talked about how bad that movie was.
I know, yeah, good for Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany
really
Haddish,
snuck under the radar.
and Elizabeth Moss. My pick was Ryan Seacrest.
Ugh, no.
I feel like Ryan Seacrest is everybody's pick to replace everybody.
That's true. But like,
so I'm not really sure. I'm just like,
Cardi B has a personality. Like, what's Ryan Seacrest going to say in an Instagram Live video?
Do you think that Ryan Seacrest would start all of his Instagram Live videos with, "Hey everybody, Ryan Seacrest here,"
Yep.
like says his name
Yep.
on his account?
It's like, dude, you're everywhere. We know who you are.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love if Ryan Seacrest was like, "Thank you for watching. My name is Ryan Seacrest." I like when people do that. Like Johnny Cash was famous for that. He'd open all of his shows with,
"Hey, I'm Johnny Cash."
"Hello, I'm Johnny Cash," and people would be like, "Yo, we bought the tickets."
Seriously.
It says your name on them. We walked up to somebody and said, "Tickets for Johnny Cash, please." And then they printed Johnny Cash on a piece of paper.
Your name is literally illuminated in a marquee above this building.
Right. Okay. A true know-it-all. This is going to tie into my recent habits, but a true know-it-all. This hunk has been a brain. What? This hunk has a brain for neurosurgery and a face for television. But if we had to replace Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who would it be?
I don't even know if I know who that is.
You know who Sanjay Gupta is.
Do I?
Yeah, he's like the doctor that's always on CNN, but I think he's like full-time there. And
okay, but here's the thing.
Super handsome.
But here's the thing. I didn't watch CNN until like last Friday.
You're like, you got to understand.
Were you not there for last Friday's episode when I was like, yo, I haven't watched a second of CNN, like in the biggest news political story of my entire life?
Dude, you don't know this guy?
I've never seen that guy in my life.
You've never seen Sanjay Gupta?
No, but he's super handsome.
So here's the issue, though, and this isn't as recent, but so look at his hair there.
Yeah.
Look at his hair there.
Oh, he's you. That's your hair.
Kind of. I don't know. It doesn't look great on him, but I don't even know what looks great on me anymore. But the point is, his hair is even longer than that right now.
Okay.
And I don't like to tell people what to do with their hair because I don't like when people do that to me.
Yeah.
But
what do you think I should do with my hair?
It's fine. It's fine. It's good.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I like
Keep it going.
Yeah.
It looks really good, actually. So you don't have a pick to replace Dr. Sanjay Gupta?
I have to pass on this one. Who do you got?
All right, we'll give you your pick is Ryan Seacrest.
Okay.
My pick was also Ryan Seacrest.
Okay.
He isn't afraid to drum up controversy. Why can't I read? He isn't afraid to drum up controversy as he's sung some controversial lines and used to play drums for Fleet Foxes.
Oh, Jesus.
But if we had to replace Josh Tillman, who would it be? This one's a good one, actually.
This is a pretty good one. Oh, shit. He's irreplaceable.
That is very true.
He's irreplaceable. But damn, I wish you didn't have that Fleet Foxes line because I'd be like, oh, I'd love to replace Father John Misty with the drummer from Fleet Foxes.
That would be amazing. Unfortunately, yeah, this one's bulletproof.
So is it Ryan Seacrest?
No. So I thought initially I was like, all right, it's obvious, Phoebe Bridgers. But then I thought about it and I was like, maybe Maddie Healy would be more fun.
Oh man.
And then I thought, like, if you
I
really
think
want,
he's like more problematic.
maybe,
right?
yeah.
Would anybody be surprised?
Well, then then my other pick is also kind of problematic because he's had some choice lyrics over the years. But Tyler, the Creator, I think would be a good replacement for Father John Misty. And then he just exists as this. There's like a trigger warning for when people even bring up Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like another conversation where it's like, who are you going to replace Tyler, the Creator with? It's like, well, you can't because he's one of a kind.
Right.
Damn. I don't know.
And the last one. He's an ambassador of the Prince's Trust, but I wouldn't trust any of his characters one bit. If we had to replace Tom Hardy, who would it be? This is tough.
Yeah, I've never thought about this one. I don't think there are any leading candidates to replace Tom Hardy.
Armie Hammer.
There's a real curveball there. Also, speaking of canceled, I think that Armie Hammer had a tough week this week.
Really?
Yeah, I saw somebody bring up that he had said some things that people weren't fans of.
Uh-oh. Let's get him.
I'm gonna do the quick Twitter search. He tweeted 2 days ago, "Why is it so fucking cold? This is dumb." That doesn't seem like it would get him canceled, but I don't know.
We'll find him.
Maybe I'm wrong. Wait, who? So who was? Oh, it's Tom Hardy. That's right.
Yeah, Armie Hammer.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think you could slip in there, right?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this last week, but it's still worth bringing up because I'm still pretty into it. The I don't want to do the work today thing.
Jesus Christ. I had never heard of that before.
That was crazy that I was like, I found another years old meme that I'm really into. And you hadn't heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Stunned me.
Yeah. That's might be the first internet thing that you've beat me to, ages old internet thing.
And I was still 2 years late on it.
Yeah, I never had seen that meme before, but
just a white girl saying, I don't want to do the work today.
It's not even just a white girl. It's like a literal production of a white girl saying, I don't want to do the work today.
It's a celebration of a white girl saying, I don't want to do the work today. I watched it so many fucking times last week because people were using it to make jokes about the country. Hey, who's the next president? Nevada. I don't really want to do the work today. And I watched that on a loop 300 times. And for a while, it was probably my favorite song that I'd never actually heard before because I just that clip. I've since listened to the song a bunch.
What is it?
It's from a play called Firebringer.
Okay.
And I don't understand it in context, but my guess is it's like a caveman themed play.
Okay.
And what I'm assuming is they just learned how to do whatever they're doing in the play, which is singing and dancing. And one of them was like, hey, we got to go make fire or whatever. And they're all like, no, we just learned how to dance and sing. This is awesome. That's the context clues I'm picking up from the lyrics.
I can't wait for somebody to tweet us who has seen this play and tell us that we are completely wrong because this happens every time.
Right. They're going to be like, you offensive assholes. It is about a child who died. It is Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton. You mother. That's the song you're making jokes about. Phoebe Bridgers made jokes about that song. I don't think that's super cool. That's what gives her
Jesselnick made a great joke about that song.
Oh yes, did you see Jesselnick's joke yesterday?
No.
This was the top Jesselnick usage of Jesselnick humor ever. There was a story that a woman killed her kids.
Oh Jesus!
And sold their organs. Mm-hmm. And Jesselnick quote tweeted with, "This is why I don't have kids," meaning he did that too.
Oh God!
That man's brain, man.
I feel
that boy ain't right.
I feel like Jesselnick has lost his fastball a little bit, or maybe not lost his fastball, but lost a bit of the Jesselnick mystique.
Right, we're just kind of used to it.
I think that he's put himself out there too much.
Yeah, I don't like that he does a podcast.
That's what I'm saying. And he does a podcast that is very just a normal guy doing a podcast. It's not Jesselnick in character really. It's just Jesselnick doing a podcast with his buddy. and it takes away a bit of the shine.
Yeah, I think that goes for most comedians. I think the comedians shouldn't really be on Twitter.
Yeah, unless it's like a very relatable, like just somebody who doesn't have a persona. It's just who they like. Bill Burr.
Right, I was gonna say Mike Birbiglia can be on Twitter.
Right, like Bill Burr, who's just like he's just a funny guy.
Right, he's never going to want for material. You know,
right? Yeah.
He'll be able to just
he's just not an observational, but like just a commentator who has good takes and very funny jokes.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I find it weird when like a comedian tweets a joke though. Because I'm like, yo, put that in your set, man.
Yeah, save your bullets.
Everybody's got a special now, so we've talked about that before, how just like all you need to do is be anything. Like I'm surprised that people haven't been like, hey, you have 100,000 Twitter followers, Pete, do you want a special?
I mean, you were like, hey, let's do a stand-up set. Let's work on our special.
That's right. Did we ever tell the world about this?
I think so. I think we've
probably a few
preempted
times.
It like we talked about it 6 times and preempted every time. Be like, have we talked about this?
I'll tell you what. We told some of your friends about this recently, and you were laughing very hard, but also clearly so upset that your friends thought it was the funniest idea in the world. They were like, "This is golden. You guys have to do this," which we can't really do it anymore.
Thank God.
In case people haven't, I don't know if we have said it, but the gist, long story short, Pete and I show up at an open mic separately, sign up for back-to-back slots. One person goes up, does 5 minutes about a random movie, and everyone's like, okay, that was kind of weird. Next person goes up, is like, hey, is anyone here engaged? And I don't know, whatever they answered, you'd be like, yeah. My fiance and I, we were watching whatever, and then you proceed to do 5 minutes on that same movie and just continue to pick up off of that previous person's material.
And not acknowledge it.
The audience might not laugh, but if we record that and put it in a brunch episode, imagine the pants that would be pissed.
It's such a ridiculous idea.
Like if something I loved did that, I would piss my pants on the spot. We're going to put out a poll. Would you piss your pants if we did the stand-up thing? And you guys will know what it means. Don't be dicks and say no, because you would laugh.
I feel like the energy might be missing when you did it on a podcast, when it translated to a podcast. Like you have to have the awkward energy of the crowd.
Right. We couldn't just do it straight on the pod. We'd have to record it and then drop it into the podcast.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if the crowd energy would carry over to the podcast.
I think that if we just like open an episode clean with like, all right, up next, Pete Blackburn, and you have people be like, Pete's doing stand-up comedy. This does not sound like Pete. I'm so excited to hear him do this. And like they'd be listening and they'd be rooting for you and they'd be like, all right, maybe he needs to work on his like choice of topic, but like I'm laughing along with this even though this is kind of weird. And then when they call me up and I do the same fucking thing you just did, I think that the pants would be pissed.
I think the funniest aspect to me is like the open mic aspect of it, where like everybody there is like there to do their own material. Like they're working on their own, like they've got aspirations of making a special.
Yeah.
They're there for serious business. They want to do their material. And here are these two fucking idiots who apparently don't know each other, and they're just talking about the same movie for 5 minutes.
It would be so fun. I mean, we must do it at some point. That's got to be like the big carrot, along with the 2-hour diss track to LCP that Bruntouchables are just waiting for. And I think the payoff would be beautiful. I mean, it's the cat's out of the bag because we've thinking it would never happen. We've said exactly what it would be.
Right.
But I still think, I don't know. Text into the Buzz, viewers. Do you still want that? And if you had not heard us explain it, would you have pissed them?
Speaking of the listeners wanting things.
Uh-oh. No.
Very on brand.
Right after we talk about the niche thing that I want to do.
Oh, the listeners
out
want
of the question.
No, absolutely not. No, What's Cooking will be back at some point, hopefully very soon.
Right, we're just trying to nail down the time, but
nail down the time, nail down. I think we know what we want to do, but nailing down if Twitch will allow us to do it, because Twitch has become a real party pooper.
Twitch is really being pardon my French, a son of a Twitch of late, huh?
Yeah. And people are pissed. It's Monday and people are pissed at Twitch.
I got an email from Twitch because I'm a Twitch user, and it was like, hey, look, we fucked up.
Yeah.
I microwaved some popcorn and then texted you and was like, explain.
That was an incredible email. I didn't see it until you texted me and said, yo, check out this email. And like, I opened it and you're not exaggerating. They were like, stop yelling. We know we fucked up.
Fucked up, man. You gotta give us another chance. Like sweating. There's like a gun to them, like trying to save their own lives.
Have a little faith.
Yeah. People were mad because of the music that was playing, but it was... People had to take down their Twitch accounts or their VODs. You're going to have to do something there for me.
Video on demand.
Their video on demands, because you're not allowed to play licensed music on Twitch, but I think a lot of video games have music. Is that
a lot of video games have like unlicensed menu music and like in-game music. Like I played NHL, and my VOD got muted because I got a DMCA takedown from the music in the game.
Unbelievable,
which is absurd. But also, just like a lot of people listen to music to just like vibe while they're playing video games. Just like in the background, they'll just have Spotify running, and I mean, people have just been getting slammed by DMCA's. For the past couple of months.
Fucking A. Unbelievable. That's some good Twitch talk. I rewatched the Kingsman movies these past couple of days. Don't know why. Just really had the itch.
You are so random.
Yeah.
The things that you do are just unexplainable.
It's like, gotta watch both Kingsman movies right now. That's what I did. Oi, bruv. It was great. That second one isn't so bad.
Where are the other two Kingsmen? Two Men King. Yeah. When people drop that might be my favorite like brunch reference in the wild.
Oh yeah,
of
where
like
the other Two Men King? That's my favorite.
Yeah, because it doesn't really make sense, and it's like so very specific.
How do we not have a shirt that says "Where are the other Two Men King"?
That's in
the style of I wish my band had a seamstress shirt. Where are the other Two Men King? That'd be amazing. Also, we should definitely have. Men drop. Very easy.
Yeah.
We just, not the actual one, us doing it.
We should change the intro thing from Hit It Boys to Hit It Men.
Hit It Men. Yeah. Man, if we ever, that
should be a nice character arc for this podcast.
Yeah.
From boys to men.
Yeah.